Hi everybody, welcome to the South Australian Sports Show. Hope you can stay with us for the next hour. We have got plenty coming up on the show as I'm joined by the great Greg Anderson and the wonderful Barry Curtin.
Hello, mate.
Yep, thank you, boys.
Yeah,
appreciate you coming in.
Ollie Wines.
Ollie Wines.
Fantastic.
Let's talk about Ollie Wines. Of course, massive night for him. First, well, I know you want to argue this, but the first player playing for Port Adelaide to win a Brownlow medal.
Yep, no question. Was that unbelievable?
I know you want to talk about Gavin Wangan.
No, I don't want to talk about Gavin Wangan. I'm just saying he was a Port bloke who won a Brownlow, so he might
but
be.
He won it playing with Essendon, didn't he?
Oh, I don't know.
Ollie's the first.
Ollie's the first.
Ollie's the
first
player.
Yeah, of course he's
Ollie's
the first.
Yeah.
Of course he's the first.
So on that then, does that make him Port Adelaide's best player ever?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, I'm asking the question.
No, I don't know about that. Gee, that's a tough one.
You saying the Port Adelaide power, or we're going back to 1870, or we're just going...
No, just with the power.
Just with the power.
Does that make him the best Port Adelaide player?
Yeah, it's really interesting that, because you look at Treadray, and I think Treadray was absolutely outstanding as a Port Adelaide player and a leader. The votes now only go to Cinnamon and on ballers.
It's got to be a midfielder, yep.
So how can you say that one or two players in each club get all the votes, are the best players in that team?
Yep.
Because I actually think that there was some games this year where I thought Alira had to get 3 votes, or it might have been Bruce from the Bulldogs had to get 3 votes. But who got them? Pontebelli or the on-ballers. And you look at it right across the board, it really has become an on-ballers medal, and it's like you get the most possessions, you get the 3 votes. You might not be the most influential player on the ground that kicked 6 goals, like Tex did. Kicked six goals, 3. He got 1 vote.
Yep.
That's probably when you look at the best player of all time.
Yeah.
He's got a Brownlow from the umpires and absolutely a fantastic player to average 32 possessions. But I still think there was a couple of players in there that were just as much influence, and I would say that Port supporters would put him in the same category as Ollie Wines as a very, very important player.
Travis spoke. Your thoughts?
Oh, Trav had a great year himself. But once again,
2 years.
Well, he has.
Amazing 2 years.
As Ando said, though, look at Port's votes. You got 61 votes between the two of them, between Boak and Wines. Yeah. And then you go to the Bulldogs and you got McRae and Bontempelli. 50 votes or something.
Roy Laird, Keys, you got Jack Steele, you got Dusty Martin, you got Mundy, you got Mitchell. It's all the players that get lots of possessions.
I'm not arguing with any of that, but if we're supposed to believe that the Brownlow medals for the best and fairest, disregard all of that, then he has been the best and fairest, first player in the club's history to win it. Does that make him the best and fairest player?
I think each supporter has got their own best player. Mine was, I thought Matthew Primus was one of the one of the great players of the league, one of the great players of our footy club. Struck down by a couple of knee injuries. Is he a better player than Ollie, or is he? It's a real tough one. Right? That's a very tough question you asked there.
I'd like to make them tough. I don't know.
Who's best and fairest for your club? You know, Bokey's won lots. Treadray's run a few. So you sort of say, well, hang on, we've got the Brownlow, or who's got the most best and fairest at a footy club, or the most votes in your club? Is that more important than perhaps a medal that's selected by the umpires?
All right, I'd like to ask you quickly then, who is the best and fairest for the Adelaide Crows in their time in footy? If you had to pick one player right now, who's the first one that comes to your head? First one that comes into your head?
Andrew McLeod.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, I forgot about him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. You have a couple
that tough one, isn't
fly in your head. All right, something to think about. Stay with us. We need to get over to Jamie for the sporting news. Jamie?
Thanks, guys. Let's get right into it. In the horse racing, Free of Debt, a son of Unencumbered, took out the Wiley Handicap at Morphettville last Saturday. Saddled by Gary Lowe, the horse's trainer Chris Bigg said it was desperate to race at the paddock. With $20 odds, Bigg was thrilled to see it win the feature, which was valued at over $100,000. According to Bigg, after a month's break, the horse will most likely be raced again in Melbourne in the spring. In the Premier League hockey, Seacliff and Adelaide went head-to-head in both the men's and women's grand finals. Seacliff emerged victorious 2-1 in the men's, with the women's final being won by Adelaide 2-0. Although neither club managed to take down both leagues, it was good to see them both split the glory. Woodville West Torrens have earned their spot in the SANFL Grand Final after narrowly defeating Glenelg last Saturday. Although the Tigers made a valiant comeback in the final term, the Eagles managed to stay in front by 4 points, finishing 86-82. South Adelaide scored a spot in the preliminary final after winning against Norwood 83-64. Bryce Gibbs was a standout player for the Panthers, acquiring 31 disposals and 10 clearances, as well as Mitch O'Neill, who racked up 25 disposals. In the Under-18 Torrens University Cup, the Eagles celebrated their third grand final win in 4 years. Although Jace Burgoyne couldn't play the match on account of soreness, Charlie Blair and Harry Tunkin played well in particular, helping to close out the match 69-86. In other news, our very own Ollie Wines was crowned the 2021 Brownlow medalist in Perth last Sunday. Wines managed to claim 36 votes, beating Marcus Bontempelli of the Bulldogs, who had 33, and Melbourne's Clayton Oliver, who held 31. This was the first time 3 players acquired over 30 votes under the current 3-2-1 system. Wines said he was honoured to win the Brownlow after one of the best years of his AFL career. Well deserved. That's all I've got for you this week. I'm Jamie Tenikoff. We've got more on the way after the break.